Okay? It's bait. And if you come in here and you're like, we have to acknowledge their pronouns of being of co and re, and like, I guess I'm too transphobic. I'm too old and therefore transphobic if that's like where we're at. So I'll just be honest with you. As someone who advocates for trans rights, I don't understand it, and it's like, it literally does not fit in my brain. Okay, sorry. Will this be considered cultural appropriation? I don't know what the fuck this is. Are these same people okay with Rachel Dolezal? No, of course not. I mean, I love Rachel Dolezal. She's my queen. People who transition Wait, you think gynecologists think gender is a social construct? You think trans women that have gotten bottom surgery don't go to a fucking gyno? You fucking idiot. Like, what do you think? They're just like, you think they are, what do they do? They have a pussy now. What are they gonna do? Sorry, can't go to the gyno. I'm trans. They don't, Hassan, LMAO. Trans women that got bottom surgery that have pussies now don't go to the gyno. They just don't go to the doctor. Incredible, brilliant take. I mean, chat is just losing their minds now. They're doing surgical blackface. I wonder why. 100% of the people who are supporting transracial aren't trans. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they do because it's not biologically the same thing. It's just skin, not an actual vagina. That's crazy because you don't have a pussy. And I got trans people in here who do have pussies. So what's up? Like, they tell me that they're going to the gyno. You, on the other hand, are some fucking delusional cishet dude who's like, nah, they don't actually go, dog. I know. Like, why? Why say it if you have no fucking idea how this works? And no, it's not just skin, you fucking idiot. Like, it's skin in the same sense that, like, just a cis person's pussy is just skin. Everything is just skin. This is why trans people say, like, cis people should just shut the fuck up and not get involved in this. It's like, it kind of is true. You just don't know. Like, you could learn, maybe have a more informed opinion, but half the time it's literally just uninformed opinions. Oftentimes rooted within just deep bigotry of trans people.
Right? Race is a social construct, apparently. If race is a social construct, you should be able to fluidly shift between them, between the races, far more easily than sex, which is a biological concept deeply ingrained and rooted. So if you say trans women are...
I love this because, like, Ben doesn't think race is a social construct, and Ben doesn't think sex is a social, or not sex, but gender is a social construct. But for this argument, for the sake of this argument, he's, like, making it seem like he does believe in it. Just so he can fucking devalue trans people. Okay? You don't inherit your gender from your fucking parents in the same way that like your race is tied to your genes and to your parents, and you are born a specific race. The social applications that we have revolving around race, the social construct of race revolves around the exclusion of non-whites, for example, like the one drop rule, or the different ways that we have historically and still to this day oppress specific races. Transracial is the thing. I invented it. If you can be transgender, you can be transracial. Live your life to the fullest. Be who you want to be and spread love. Hashtag Ollie London. Like, this person's getting like 10 fucking retweets, dude. They're not even doing a good enough job because the people that they're trying to get fucking clout from despise them. Like, they want them to be, those people want them to be murdered. You know what I mean?
Women. And if you say that everybody's a bigot, if you refuse to acknowledge that trans women are women because they're not, then you need to tell me right now. Explain to me that if Ollie London had a bunch of surgeries to appear like a woman or more like a woman and then said, I am a woman.
There are definitely ultra woke people that identify this way. I know a few that say the response to the attack helicopter meme should just be the respect the person's attack helicopter identity. Yeah, extremely online weirdos, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's insane. Sorry. Like, you're not a fucking attack helicopter, and Ollie London is not Korean. You can find people that, I mean, there are now maps, you know, minor attracted person shit. Does that make it right? No. So who gives a fuck that there are people? Yeah, they're crazy. Shut the fuck up.
You would all be cheering the bravery. So brave, so wonderful, so non-stereotypical. So just, it's not playing on stereotypes. It's not reducing femininity to a bunch of surgeries and gender dysphoria.
It's super interesting where different generations, progressives draw the line on trans rights. I mean, what is the right? Like, what is the trans right that I'm overstepping? I need someone to describe to me how I'm overstepping a trans right when I say like Ollie London isn't fucking Korean. Like, they're just wilding out and doing it specifically to hurt trans people. Like, that transracial things are not, it's not real to be transracial. You know? They're not even a fucking Korean national, nor do they know Korean. Man, there's a whole rabbit hole of adult maps that identify as being underage. Obviously, really super online cringe shit, but I've seen it on Twitter. That's what I'm saying. Yes, dude. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm going to use like really fucking aggressive terms here, but some people have fucking mental health problems that either go unaddressed or rather they just lean into it. Okay. That's it. You don't have to look deeper into it to be like, oh, I wonder what's going on here. This must be a valid identity or a valid reason to feel this way. Like, no. And I know that people look at that and go, well, that's a slippery slope argument that you can extend the trans existence. And I don't think that you can do that. And I'm not doing that. Okay? I don't. Gender identity is your social gender. You embody the social role of that gender. Biological gender is just your genetic X, Y, X, 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 etc. combo. Yeah. Yeah, transracial is a real thing, but it's not the thing that these guys claim it is. It's something which applies to adoptions. For example, an Asian child with black parents will have stronger racial experience that of their parents. Yeah, I understand that. It surprises me how you can say that this person cannot be Korean, but he can say that he has no gender. First of all, if you recognize that they're non-binary, you don't say he, you say they. Secondly, like in the real world, there are going to be people who go to the extents to absolutely bastardize certain concepts for personal gain and clout. That does not make up the overwhelming majority of the trans experience in the same way that like conservatives will imply it does, to devalue trans people and make it seem like they're faking it for attention or faking it because they want to win like fucking weightlifting competitions, as though like that's a good enough reason to literally get fucking obliterated in every other part of your lives, like because we make trans existence a living hell for trans people. But ultimately, you just have to recognize that some people are just fucking bad faith. I guess the place I draw the line is like when you claim you're a different race than you actually are, or when you claim that you're a different species than you actually are. Okay? That's it. That's where I draw the fucking line. And age too. You can't like think you're a different age. I mean, there's a bunch of shit that you just understand. It's disrespectful to trans people to draw the line where transphobes say we get to. What? Their pronouns are also Corey, and I find it funny that leftists feel the need to defend this. Yeah, I don't understand neo pronouns. I don't get it. I hit everybody with a they them. Okay, I'm a Joe Biden Andy on that end. Okay, I know that this is a big point of contention for the Minecraft Stan Twitter crowd. Like when people are like, I'm Fae or Fairy, or I think that's the thing that people will say, and they identify as like being a fairy or something. I don't get it. I'm too fucking old, man. Okay. I don't understand it. But I also don't understand why like people say that, you know, people discriminate against you when you when people don't use neo pronouns. Like I don't. I legitimately don't understand it. Like me saying that, like me saying that Ko and Rian are not valid pronouns for Ollie London. Like I don't know how that discriminates against them. Or me saying that they're not actually fucking Korean. I also don't fully understand how to fucking do neo pronouns. Like how do I just say Faye when I'm referencing a person? I just wish that there were no fucking gender pronouns in the English language. Especially because like I had to learn gender pronouns when I learned English, coming from a Turkish background where we don't have any gender pronouns in the Turkish language. And then I had to learn this shit. And now people are like, actually, there's a lot more that you need to learn. gender identity has an actual scientific basis that is being studied, I guess that's where you could draw the line. Yeah. But I also feel like most people that use neo pronouns don't stress being called they them. You know what I mean? Like I've never had someone be like, "How dare you not call me Faye and regard me as they them?" So it's like, okay. It takes 2 seconds to ask someone what their preferred pronoun is. Not that hard. No, that's not the hard part. How are you failing to recognize this? I don't know how to use Faye or Z or Zer. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how to like point to someone and be like, oh, Zer is just being crazy right now or something. Do you get what I'm saying? The same way other pronouns. I've seen people with Pog self in their card. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, cool. Go off. Please don't get mad at me when I use they, them. Are you uncomfortable when you're talking about this stuff? At some point, I don't know what's going on anymore. I mean, I'm a little uncomfortable because, like, I don't want to make people feel shitty about themselves. But I also don't get it. You're saying this person got together with Republicans and was like, how can we own the left, decided on this, and then proceeded to go through all these surgeries to achieve it? No, I think that person already had, like, a lot of issues, right? You literally just replace the words in a sentence. He, him, his is Z, Zim, Zer are analogous. Okay, but it's not just Z, Zim, Zer. And even then, it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but it's not just that. Okay, how do you use Pog and Pog self? How do you use Ko and Rian? Neo-pronoun discourse is so useless. Just move on. This is the reason why I don't talk about it. This is the reason why I don't get it. Or get into neo-pronouns, because it's like too complicated, too convoluted. And from what I understand, most people don't get mad if you just use they, them. They went to the bar and grabbed Fayself's drink. Okay. Imagine hearing this conversation like 20 years ago. Yeah. Those aren't the same as actual neo-pronouns. What? Get the fuck out of here. You're literally lying. That's no. Wait, who decides? Is there a council? Is there like a queer council to get together and they're like, okay, these are the acceptable neo-pronouns and these are not the acceptable neo-pronouns? Now you're just fucking gatekeeping. How about that? That's the point. That's why you're personally opening up the floodgates. To me, it feels like shifting, okay? It's like you're not shifting, you're just daydreaming. Or saying that like everything is gaslighting. You're not gaslighting all the time. You could just be an asshole who's just fucking lying, okay? Like, I'm suffering from trauma. No, you're displeased. You know what I mean?
For you? No. He would be a woman now. But if he identifies as Korean, absolutely not. Wrong. Can't do it. And so I say to you, during Pride Month, okay, it is Pride Month. Live your truth, Ollie. Live your truth. Ollie London is just as Korean as Caitlyn Jenner is a woman. Just as Korean as Caitlyn Jenner is a woman. Now you may say, well, Ollie London is just a performance artist. That doesn't matter. You don't get to invade Ollie London's truth. You don't get to tell Ollie London what they are. By the way, Ollie London has now declared their pronouns. Ollie London's pronouns, it should be noted, are now they, them, core, en. I'm not kidding you. Those are the pronouns. And I've been told that there are many different types of pronouns by no less a source than the New York Times, that people have been using neo-pronouns. So there really is no problem here. And in fact, if you don't like this, you are a bigot. So apparently, Ollie London then uploaded a flag of South Korea LGBT in Pride and said, yes, I identify as Korean. Yes, I'm non-binary. Yes, I look like Jimin. But none of this should be a reason to outcast me from society, to dehumanize.
Once you have accidentally correctly gendered a trans woman, it's over. Every argument goes back to that. Okay, boys? Here it is. Okay, and I'm using the gender neutral boys here. Ben Shapiro has correctly gendered Caitlyn Jenner in the past and has stopped himself and then literally turned around and misgendered Caitlyn Jenner deliberately because he does it out of pure malice. He does it because he's a grifter. Okay? That is the truth. So once you do that, you lose your I'm transphobic card. Okay? Sorry. You lose the argument to ever talk about a gender beyond like a social construct. That's it. Straight up. If you ever get caught correctly gendering a trans person and then stop yourself and then literally misgender them, and there is a video of this if you want, I'm sure someone in the chat can send me the link. Well, the moment you do that, you give the game away. Okay? That's it. I have to think. I'm pissed off about this story because now I have to think more about fucking race being a social construct and gender being a social construct and how these things are different from one another. And it just fucking frustrates me because it's just dumb, okay? Some things are just stupid. Some things just click and some things don't, okay?
And from
it's like a I'll know it when I see it type beat.
Orange is the New Black.
I never watched that show.
I've never watched transgender woman from Orange is the New Black.
I never watched that show.
I've never watched that show either, but she's on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh.
Or he's on the cover of Time magazine.
That's it. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. It's GG's.
I've never watched that show.
You literally correctly gendered a trans woman and then stopped yourself and said he. It's done. You're doing it on purpose. And it's a perfect clip. Why is it a perfect clip? Because it betrays the values that Ben supposedly has. Okay? That's it. You recognize that that person is a woman. That person identifies as a woman. And you literally would never point to them and be like, can you get my bag from him? If the trans star on Orange is the New Black is out in the real world, okay, and she's sitting at a cafe, and she has your bag, and you point to a random person, you would never, Laverne Cox, thank you. In Ben Shapiro's world, he makes it seem like he would say, can you get my bag from him? Pointing to a trans woman. But you would never do that. You just would not do that. You wouldn't. So use that energy to recognize how, how you associate certain things with gender. That's all you have to say after watching that trans-Korean video? Classic deflecting tactics? Dude, everything he said in this video is true. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm just going to ban trolls. I think I went through it already. Korean as a nationality is something you can get if you actually become a Korean national. Okay? The scientific implications of your race, albeit minor differences that have larger differences in your appearance, but just minor genetic differences overall, are passed down to you from your parents in a way that gender as a social construct is not. There are socialized elements of race, the way we treat certain races, the way we understand certain races, that are socially learned. Same with gender. But ultimately, you can't just change your race and be like, I'm a different race now. Koreans aren't a race, so that destroys their whole transracial argument. Yeah, I mean, well, they could say that they identify as Asian. Okay. I know, there's another JCS out there as well. Okay. Ultimately, this person is wild. I mean, they're crazy. Not because they're non-binary. They're crazy because they fucking think they're someone else. Like, and that's not valid. It's just not. You can see the difference between an invalid existence and someone who's doing it specifically for grift, and someone who's not. It's so hard to defend people nowadays because of this. I try to understand it, but it truly doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Humanize me and shame me for being who I am, a non-binary Korean person. London's manager says that London, quote, felt strongly attached to Korea and the Korean culture and feels much more connected to this than his own culture. But people are very angry at Ollie London. You bigot.
So connected to Korean culture, yet like literally doesn't even know how to speak the language.
I don't understand why you're mad. Why are you mad? What's making you so mad, bro? Bigotry? I sense bigotry.
Doesn't even speak the language. Literally a year ago was saying, I'm not Korean. I'm not Korean. I just want to look like Jimin. Now is full-blown saying, I am Korean, and adding a bunch of reactionary Republicans specifically to join the cause and advocate for him to bastardize trans existence. Yeah, go ahead.
In fact, as Ollie London, their self, now says, quote, how come all the woke mob will devote...
Says a lot about Ben that, like, they're correctly using the right pronouns of a person only when they agree with them, by the way. It's great.
all their time to threatening and bullying me for being non-binary, but won't speak out against human rights abuses in China? How come woke are silent on China's concentration camps, clampdown on democracy in Hong Kong, or oppression in Tibet? Not a terrible question, Ollie London. Ollie London also writes, I'm calling out the woke mob. These are the people that always preach about liberalism, tolerance, and respecting others, but are the same people sending me thousands of death threats, telling me to take my own life, and bullying me because they don't agree with who I am.
Maybe this is how we get reactionaries that believe in trans people. I don't know. Just have like fucking... to have, you know, have a bunch of these fucking psychotic grifters come out so that reactionary propagandists can like act like they believe it. Here, I'm going to run this video here. Okay. This is the new QAnon conspiracy that just dropped. I don't know why it looks like Vaseline was all over the was dabbed all over the lens here, but it's very good.
That you know shows that points to that this wasn't a just spontaneous event. And if John McAfee, let's just talk about him now. If this is true, first of all, someone important was in that building that they didn't want there. We know how the deep state operates. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's true because it's proven true over and over again. They're dirty. they're satanic, and they're disgusting, and they will do everything to wield power, everything that they can to get whoever that they need silenced or to get information silenced. So some information, some bombshell or some person was in that building or group of people that they don't want around anymore. I believe that this is a deep state operation. There's a lot of evidence that shows, that points to that this wasn't a just spontaneous event. And if John McAfee, let's just talk about him now, if this is true. First of all, someone important was in that building that they didn't want there. We know how the deep state operates. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's true because it's proven true over and over again. They're dirty, they're satanic, and they're disgusting, and they will do everything to wield power, everything that they can to get whoever that they need silenced or to get information silenced. So some information, some bombshell or some person was in that building or group of people that they don't want around anymore. I believe that this is a deep state operation. There's a lot of evidence that shows, that points to that this wasn't a just spontaneous event. And if John McAfee, let's just talk about him now, if this is true. First of all,
I love that this replayed a bunch of times, so now you guys are brainwashed into believing it. That was a loop, yes. The deep state is here, boys.
Important was in that building that they didn't want
one
there.
more
We
time.
know how the deep state operates. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's true because it's proven true over and over again. They're dirty, they're satanic, and they're disgusting, and they will do everything to wield power, everything that they can.
Why do you get so excited?
To get whoever that they need silenced.
Why does he do that? Does he know that the top of the hour ad break is here? And he's saying, stop. Top of the hour ad break is here, Hassan. There's a 60-second ad break that you're about to run. Don't forget it. Now, of course, if you no longer want to see the ads, you already know what to do, Hassan. Tell them. You can avoid the ads by subscribing, either with a $5 subscription or with a free one, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and getting one free Prime subscription that you can use on your favorite broadcaster. Or you can use an ad block or a VPN. But here's the ad break now. Boom. Do you think it's a modern day satanic panic? I don't even know what this is. I think these people are just fucking nuts. Speaking of nuts people.
Enemies. I think in regards to the athlete protesting, I've spent the last year and a half hearing every argument possible and understanding.
Bro, what is it Meghan McCain's hairstylist doing? Like, what's the, why is she doing him dirty like this? I mean, not that I hate it, but what about your relationship with your hairstylist, Meghan McCain? What the fuck? Are there no warning flags? Like, do you not see this and in your mind maybe go, I might be getting fucked over by this person?
Why athletes protest in the United States of America, like Colin Kaepernick. The problem I have is this woman is doing this internationally, and if anyone just saw Vladimir Putin's recent speech when he met with President Biden, he's using the propaganda that America is an irredeemable crap hole against us, saying you think your country's so great over there? Look at BLM. Look at everything that's happening in your country. You don't even treat your people correctly. At the same time where he's literally imprisoning people, and we're having our enemies and propagandic dictators using our own.
Wait. Okay, where is this argument going? So, yeah, solve racial inequity in an effort to make sure that it's not used against us as a threat to our national security. I agree. If you're not going to do it out of pure empathy and morality, and because you believe it's the right thing to do, then do it because you fear that it will be used against America. Cool.
Own propaganda against us, which in turn turns into a
Nice job telling a woman what her hairstyle should be. I mean, I tell your mom what her hair should be, and she seems to like it. Then again, we have sex all the time, so that's probably why. Got him.
real national security risk. My other problem with this is I don't understand why we all can't have shared experiences in this space or have our own stories, because for some reason my relationship with the flag isn't allowed anymore. My love of the American flag, my love of the national anthem. And I know that it's very triggering for people, and people get very upset when I talk about my dad for whatever reason, which is why I've really stopped doing it on the show unless it's
But I'm going to do it right now. Yeah. Black people asking for better policing in their communities and to be treated like full human beings by this otherwise occupying force is interfering with my love for the flag. So why don't you blacks stop it?
it's really meaningful to me. But when I was growing up, every year on Christmas, he would tell me a story about when he was in prison being tortured, and his cellmate, a man named Mike Christian, had sewn the American flag using scraps of material he found in prison into his prison garden. Every morning, they would say the Pledge of Allegiance to what was sewn into his prison garb. One day, the Vietnamese captors found that and beat the living crap out of Mike Christian to the point that his eyes and his body was so badly injured that he could barely move. And the second that he was able to move again, do you want to know the first thing Mike Christian started doing? He started re-sewing the American flag into his prison garb so his cellmates could say the Pledge of Allegiance and remember what they were doing and what they were fighting for in prison.
How does this have anything to do with like Black Lives Matter or anything for that matter? Like, how does this have anything to do with your like weird relationship with the American flag? What the fuck? Dude, Meghan McCain, I'm going to let you know right now, you can literally wrap the flagpole with the flag and shove it inside of yourself if you want. I mean, it's weird. People will say it's weird if they catch you doing it, but you can do it. Nobody's stopping you. It's completely separate from, you know, making America better for black people. Everything, and I mean everything, can be considered a dildo if you're brave enough.
Prison for America. So excuse me if I don't think some of these athletes are representing America in the same way. And for some of us, I will die for this. I will die on this hill. That is not.
I will die for this. No, the fuck you won't, dude. Shut the fuck up, dumbass. I will die for this. Yeah, okay, dude. People claim they love America, and yet I do not see flagpoles being shoved in asses and vaginas. So, do you really love America? If I haven't seen you fillet a flagpole with the flag tied around it, I'm not believing it. Okay, I think it's bullshit. Purely aesthetic. Not real.
Appropriate or patriotic to go to a foreign country where you're supposed to be representing America and act like it's just about you. It's not.
Only Trump legitimately showed how much, showed the rest of the world how much he loves America by having sex with the flag. We know he did it. Oh, Dhoni did a video on the Trump rally. Let's go, dude. New Dhoni.
This is Trump's sort of first big major rally since he lost.
He didn't lose. He didn't lose. I know he didn't lose.
Your shirt here says Trump won.
Yes, he did.
Is this about 2016?
It's about all of them, and 2020, and the next one.
But he lost in 2020, right?
No.
Do you think what happened on the 6th of January was a sort of stain on his presidency?
This was all staged. I truly believe that.
Conspiracy theories about the election and the insurrection.
Bro, why do diehard Trump loyalists just look a certain way? You know what I mean? Like that's a Omega Karen right there.
That
Conspiracy theories about the election and the insurrection are par for the course at Trump rallies. But now, another false notion is circulating among some Trump supporters that Trump could be reinstated as president later this summer.
What are you hoping to hear from Trump today?
I hope to hear he's coming back.
Yeah. Coming back in 2024?
Sooner.
He's coming back soon, and you guys are going down.
Trump has been falsely suggesting that the sham Republican audit in Arizona could lead to the election being overturned.
Stay tuned for Arizona. We need 2 states. It's going to be a very interesting time. How do you govern when you lost?
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know he was still fucking hitting that. I didn't realize he was still injecting so much copium, dude. This is unhealthy. This is actually incredibly unhealthy amounts of copium. A question Trump should be asking himself is, how do you govern when you're lost? When you've lost? Seriously. Yet he does not. Sadly. Sadly, he does not ask himself that.
How do you govern when you lost?
You think the election's going to be overturned in some way?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no
The military already knows it was a fraud. He won by over 80%.
Ron, you genuinely believe that he's
coming back.
That he could come back as soon as...
Before the middle of August.
And what if that doesn't happen?
Huh?
What if that doesn't happen?
We're going to be in a civil war because the militia will be taken over.
Among Trump supporters at his rally in Ohio Saturday...
Do you have a second to chat to us? I always want to talk to a Proud Boy.
No.
A man wearing a Proud Boys t-shirt and a self-described member of the 3 Percenters militia group. Some people believe to be associated with the group.
It's always funny that the leader of the Proud Boys was just a straight Fed. It's great.
Charged for their alleged involvement in the insurrection.
Do you think, though, what happened on the 6th of January was a bit of a stain on all the violence, a bit of a stain on his presidency, or?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I was there.
Were you up at the Capitol?
Yeah, we was there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Didn't go in, didn't do nothing.
Self-report. Oh, pussy. Pussy, won't admit it. Damn, what a coward. What a fucking coward. Hey, I didn't go in. Why not? Why not, brother? Take it. Come and take it, brother.
That stuff, I don't believe in tearing up the Capitol.
And you're a 3 percenter.
Yes.
Some of your guys have been caught up in a conspiracy, right? Charged by the FBI.
As far as I know, some of them are being held, and a lot of them are just being questioned.
Do you think your guys who went inside shouldn't have gone inside, or what?
Yeah, I don't think anybody should have went inside, but, you know, when you're worked up in that moment and, you know, the adrenaline's pumping, I mean, it just happens.
Are you worried that we could see more violence?
You know this motherfucker's delusional. Just looking at his haircut, okay? Even before anything else, like, what are you doing, bro? Literally, no one thinks you have hair. Like, who are you? The only person you have deluded into thinking you have hair is yourself, okay? I mean, seriously. What's happening back there, dude?
Yeah. I honestly believe it's coming.
That was pretty good. Short but sweet. Clear and concise. QAnon conspiracy believers are delusional. It's always insane to me how they believe without a doubt everything that could give them more copium. I mean, yeah, it feels real to them, dude. It feels real to them. And if it's not real, then that hurts their fucking fifis. Because then, and you know, it's not real. How do you continue to disrespect elite members of Meal Team 6? Kind of weird. I agree. Boys, there's a lot of JCSs that are being uploaded back onto the internet. I already ran the ad. There is no ad break right now. And by God, it makes me happy. Makes me happy to see that there's more. I don't want to go into it yet. Okay, I don't want to go into the wide VODs. You were timed out for one man spamming. Are you going to stream with any of the visitors today? I don't know. Oh, there was one last thing I want to talk about. Tucker Carlson.
Whistleblower within the...
Tucker Carlson now believes that the government is spying on him.
U.S. government.
What are they taking notes to be better at WASP nationalism? Like, why would the government spy on Tucker Carlson?
Who reached out to warn us at the NSA.
Bro, I'm a fucking leftist. Okay? It's not a secret that the government is not too fond of my worldview. And I don't think the government's spying on me. Why the fuck would they spy on you? They agree with you on like 90% of everything. That's so strange.
The National Security Agency is monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take the show off the air. Now, that's a shocking claim, and ordinarily we'd be skeptical of it. It's illegal for the NSA to spy on American citizens. It's a crime.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I can't believe the NSA is spying on American citizens, dude. That's wild. Shocking revelation. We must do something about the horrible way in which our military-industrial complex has completely gotten out of hand.
It's not a third world country. Things like that should not happen in America. But unfortunately, they do happen, and in this case, they did happen. The whistleblower, who is in a position to know, repeated back to us information about a story that we are working on that could have only come directly from my texts and emails. There's no other possible source for that information, period. The NSA captured that information without our knowledge and did it for political reasons. The Biden administration is spying on us. We have confirmed that. This morning, yesterday, we heard from...
You clearly didn't get the vaccine because I got direct access to my FBI agent after getting the COVID shot. I mean, who the fuck was he emailing? Look, the government is dumb as fuck, right? But even they are not so dumb as to very openly fucking spying on someone like Tucker Carlson, unless he was talking to someone as one of his sources that was already under government investigation. Ken Klippenstein says he FOIA'd the FOIA request. For the record. So, I don't know if that's a meme or not. I have information, but I can only confirm that it's true because of my private email. Checkmate. Maybe they're actually trying to crack down on white supremacy by going after Tucker? Yeah, I fucking doubt it. I would be very shocked if they were doing that. Okay. There's a lot of good videos to watch today, including the JCS one. But before that, I'm going to do an early LSF. I want the kids to eat today. I want the LSF kiddies to eat today, okay? They're eating good. Because I rarely ever do it this early. John Zerka proved that he was banned for a mistake for 3 months. I saw this. This shit's crazy. Your account was suspended or blocked due to a mistake on our part. I've gone ahead and reversed the suspension on your account. Why the fuck did Twitch send an email at 4 a.m., by the way? That's crazy. I've gone ahead and reversed the suspension on your account, so you're free to use our services once again. Apologies for any inconvenience or confusion that this might have caused. So, didn't he get suspended because he was doing like Tinder and just like openly blasting Tinder? like people's public Tinder accounts and shit. Wasn't that the reason? What is this?
I'm not soy. I think I'm rather poggers, to be honest with you. Fucking Hassan was trying to convince all the G4 people that I was a TikToker.
It worked.
He wouldn't stop. He kept fucking doubling down. Like, I'm like, I don't even... I'm not... I feel stupid. Like, I'm not a TikToker. He's like, I don't want to do that. So I'm like... I think I gave up, and I was like, yeah, I love TikTok. Like, I just conceded. I don't know what they thought of me.
I also told him that he invented the L dance in Fortnite, and that it was his invention. He's a Fortnite streamer. Yo, can you shout out the Surfs raid? Hey, shout out to the Surfs. Thank you for the raid. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my notifications. I don't see raids at all. Soda is not cool. He's just a greedy rich asshole. No, he's fucking awesome. You are literally wrong. I love the Austin people. Like, it's gonna be very difficult. True, that's what makes him cool. What up, S fan? Are you moving to Austin? No, I never said that, and I'm not going to do that. I love LA. This song guy's pissing me off. I'm leaving. S-Fan came in here with the Surfs raid, actually. He's a big fan of Lance.
Unfortunate. No IRL stream today. No.
Soda finds out about Nick's racial buff.
Great.
Did you wear sunscreen?
I have built-in sunscreen. It's called being black.
That's not a thing.
He's right. Fun fact, black people can also get sunburn.
It absolutely is a thing.
That's OP.
I don't get sunburned.
That might just be a you thing.
No, it's...
What the fuck do you mean false?
It's not.
There has to be black people that get sunburned.
Black people absolutely can be sunburned. Like, absolutely. It's not even super rare. Like, I have, like, first generation Nigerian immigrant who is already, like, which means that he's already darker than black people in America, because for obvious reasons. Tomei would get sunburned. It's not as intense, though. Yeah, no. It's not. For sure. It's nowhere near as intense. But yes, for those of you who don't know, black people, including dark-skinned black people, can still get sunburned.
It's a racial buff. It's a passive.
I mean,
Wait, that's actually not fair.
Did you think all like the black people in Africa are wearing sunscreen every day?
No, I just thought like their skin was more used to it. Well, no, it is.
That's why it's darker.
But what I meant was it's more used to it in the sense that it's like they actually are outside.
Oh, the racial buff comes with like more protection. It's like but if you have like unlimited exposure to the sun, or if you're black and wearing like a t-shirt, you can get a farmer's tan, you know what I mean? You still can get that.
Outside all the time.
Yeah.
Like you take
it's
a
not
white
immunity,
person, you put them
it's
outside all the
resistance.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have the defense mechanism, mate.
That's not fair.
Great.
Did you wear
It's solar resistance plus 40% non-immunity. Yeah. It's true, man. I mean, what do you want me to do? It's a solar resist. It's not full-blown immunity. Sorry, it's just the truth.
Literally just me in a backpack. I'm good with it. And I won't even say a word the whole time, and I'll have a great time. Like, I'm good with that. But at the same time, and you know, that's one issue with IRL streaming with groups, right? But then we get into even more issues of, like, you know, you got callers. Motherfuckers like calling restaurants.
He's right. It's so fucking whack. It's so bad.
I cannot be bothered with that. I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna go home.
Why are African Americans not as black as Africans? I am from North EU. Think about it. Think about why African Americans would be lighter skinned. Just think. There's a thing that happened called slavery. No, he didn't say that, but he said as black, not as black. But I know, but he meant not as black because that's what I had said. Part of that. No, I know. I'm not being short with them. I'm actually explaining it because some people don't know. Yes, because of the slaver raping and consensual interracial pairings. That's why. Also, on top of that, I mean, exposure to sunlight too. And if people say like, oh, well, that's not true for Ethiopians, it's like, yeah, different parts. Africa is incredibly diverse as a continent. Fun fact. It's not just automatically everyone is black and gigantic. A lot of different climates. A lot of different cultures, ethnicities. Yeah, Africa is gigantic. So, yes, there are people that live in different parts of Africa that are lighter skinned while still black. Also, we Ethiopians are mixed. Habesha literally means mixed. Yeah, like Ethiopians are lighter skinned. And then you have like literally North Africa, which is Arabic ancestry. So, you know. Wait, my mom is Nigerian. She's Igbo, and she's really light. It depends on your tribe and colonization, to be honest. Sure. Not Arabic, Berber and Coptic. Sorry. Badabedi. Anyway, all right. Let's keep going.
There's that. And then there's, dude, the potential of, like, real serious shit. You know, like, you got callers, but what if that when they call, they say something actually fucked up? I don't know. You know, or maybe I deal with some fucking crackhead who sees a camera and then his fucking crackhead brain even goes into giga mode and he becomes a super crackhead and he like fucking gets up in my face because I'm on TV. I'm a LA crackhead, right? And you know, that's what they want. So it's like, oh shit, I'm not trying to have a camera for this giga crackhead. Literally just.
So, low key, like, I know this is So's experience. He was absolutely correct about this in Austin, but I've said this, and we've argued about this actually, where I told him that it is not, it's not the same for me in LA. Like, LA IRL streams, were never as like intrusive and ever as terrible as like the Austin ones. For some reason, I've done IRL streams all around the country. And he says maybe it's because I wasn't as big when I do IRL streams now. It'll be